Okay.
In that case, we can start the briefing. Let me bring up my... Go ahead.
No, you're just sending us into hell.
Well, it's where you belong.
I don't disagree.
So, we are currently about midday through day 1 of the war. In case you weren't here for previous flights, we are currently at war with both Turkey and Libya for reasons that I don't fully understand, but that's how it is. Our previous operations have focused on attacking Turkish territory. For this mission, we are focusing on attempting to reduce Libya's offensive capability to prevent them from striking our facilities at Crete and other areas. Our primary target for this mission is Gamal Abdel Nasser Airbase. It is located near a city called a village, I think, called Al Adam, south of Tobruk, on the eastern side of Libya. This airbase is a primary airbase for Libya's MiG-23 Flogger fighters. Additionally, we intend to strike the nearby Al Adam radar station, as well as 2 SA-2 sites that are located in the vicinity of the airbase. There is a third SA-2 site to the north near Tobruk, but we expect it to be hit by a flight that is already ingressing to the area. Although that's not us, so keep in mind that it might be active as we go there because we can't ensure their success. In terms of flights we have assigned to this operation, the strike on the airfield will be performed by F-16 Block 40s that belong to Lightning 4 flight. So Lightning 4 will strike the airfield and attempt to disable it. To this end, I've equipped them with Blue 107 Durandal anti-runway bombs. The airfield has 2 runways. Ideally, both should be disabled. They cross each other, so it shouldn't be very hard to take them both out. If you think you can spare munitions, you can go after other facilities, but the runway is the primary priority.
Hey, there's 3 SA-2s here. There's no way.
Yes, there are 3 SA-2s there. The second flight we have is Tempest 7, a 4-ship Tarkab flight. Their objective will be to sanitize the airspace of enemy fighters, as usual. We have our third flight is Thunder 8. This flight will strike the radar site that I've mentioned before. And finally, we have Mirage 1 and Tornado 5, which will strike the 2 nearby SA-2 sites. I expect all air-to-ground attacks to be performed at low altitude because of the high threat of high-altitude SAMs in the area. At low altitude, we should be able to evade targeting by the SA-2. If both lead flights successfully report completion of the mission and we have no indication that the third SA-2 is active, we can do the egress at high altitude. But until that point, we need to assume that all 3 sites will be active and targeting us. In terms of threats, the primary threat will come from MiG-23s. These are third-generation fighters equipped with AA-7 Apex and AA-8 Aphid, semi-active radar, homing, and infrared missiles, respectively. You're all probably pretty familiar with them. They are fast and obnoxious. Secondary threat will come from MiG-21s. They are located on Al-Bumba airfield to the northwest of the target. It is marked with an airfield PPT if you've loaded the INI file. These are, of course, second-generation fighters equipped primarily with fire missiles and within visual range semi-active missiles. So, not a BVR threat, but within visual range threat, definitely. The final threat that is very unlikely here is Mirage F1 fighters, which are based much more to the west of the country. Just be aware that they are operated by the enemy, and somebody's ringing my door, so I'll be right back. In terms of surface threats, obviously the SA-2s will be the primary threat here. The low-altitude threat is, as far as I can tell, composed almost entirely of SA-14. These are second-generation manpads, not as deadly as an Igla, but not as laughable as an SA-7. So keep your long-release IR programs ready. The enemy also operates SA-3s and SA-6s. We're probably not going to run into them. You're probably fairly well familiar with them, so I don't need to explain much there. In terms of weather, the airfield will have some cloudy weather, but visibility is good, and the target area should be completely sunny, so you shouldn't worry about that. Speaking of our airfield, we are taking off of Suoda in Crete. The information for the airfield is in flight briefing. Our primary alternate is going to be Timbaki, which is southeast of our primary airfield. We also have several other airfields like Iraklio and Castelli that are marked as PPTs in case you ever need to divert there. In terms of support assets, we have one tanker that will be on station on the box that I marked. Its call sign is Texaco 5, and its frequency is 300,000 megahertz. It's also in the flight briefing. For Lightning Flight, this doesn't apply because they're flying regular US airframes, but for all of us that are flying the Greek Block 52 Plus, we are equipped with conformal fuel tanks, so fuel is less of an issue. I've compiled a handy list of possible RAR symbology that you might run into, because the RAR on this thing is weird. Indicators for surface threats will show up as like a little arrow next to the number, and air threats have a hat on them, so you can distinguish. Yes, thank you, Potato. Oh, okay. So the final thing is we have a somewhat nasty shortage of supplies. I have managed to scrounge us up with 2 AMRAAMs per jet for every flight in this mission, but that does mean that the TARCAP is going to fly with only 2 AMRAAMs per jet. So I recommend aggressive flying into within visual range combat. Don't get yourself killed, obviously, but don't waste your missiles and then have nothing to defend yourself with. Obviously, our main threats are going to be BVR capable, but they are very short-ranged. Can easily be defeated by notching and chaff. And the rest of your missiles are Iris Ts, which are a lot more capable than anything the enemy will throw at you. So just keep that in mind. Any questions? I will be flight lead today because package lead today because package lead seems to be an unpopular role, but the TARCAP will have to take over once we are all low level. because we will not have SA. Are you fine with taking over package lead when our flight goes low level? Because you'll be in the tar cap and you'll have the best SA.
That's why I want someone else to take the lead of the flight.
To
To a flight, I think I can make it, but to a package lead,
I think you'll be fine. It's not like you'll have to give out orders since everybody will be at low level. Just keep us informed of what's going on.
Okay, I'll try my best.
Yep, just do your best. Okay, let's do an IVC check, starting with lightning. In that case, then let's split off into individual flight briefs according to package order.
Yeah, fish will stay here. Those other guys can move. Be gone! Sweep! No, I was telling you just to stay here, because I like being special. Sweet. So, basic stuff. Will be Victor 15. I'll be on 15 X-ray. You'll be 78 X-ray. We'll do... I don't use token. So, about 180 miles of ingress. Are you capable of tanking? Okay, sweet. So we'll use tanker as a backup option if we get low on gas. We got about 180 miles, so let's do 5,000 Joker, 4,000 Bingo. We will hit steer point 5. We'll be at high altitude. During the 24 miles from 5 to 6, we will begin our NOE. I'm gonna have you strike the runway that is in line with 6 and 7. I'm going to hook off to the left and strike the one that's running northeast, southwest. Yeah, your steer points are practically lined up. Just got to fly the steer points. I'll dick around with rolling off to the side. So then once you've bombed your runway, make sure you're dropping chaff flare the entire time. We are right by SA2s. Kind of hook. Once you hit steer 7 and you're off, hook right and try and split those two SA2s down the center. And then hook left back to steer 8. That kind of makes sense. Don't flow steer 7, 8 because you'll be in the man. Stay. Do you have threat circle rings on all of them? Perfect. So your NOE, stay NOE until you hit steer point 8. Once we're at 8, pop back up. Oh shit! Wait. What's but yeah, about steer 5 is when we'll roll our wings over and we'll get down on the ground. I mean, I'll be 40 feet off the deck. You can be at 100. You can be at 40. We have terrain following radar. I don't like it. I don't like. No. You know what? In fact, I'm gonna take that off the jet. That's just extra drag we don't need. What is it? Nav pod. We don't need a nav pod. Oh, so I'm gonna ground abort our 2 other aircraft. I don't need them. I don't want them. They will get in our way. So what that means is while everybody else has 2 AMRAAMs and 2 AIM-9s, we get 4 AMRAAMs. Yeah, 300 feet, which is high when there's an SA-14 right there. So just make sure you have a good flare program set up, or you just don't stop punching that button. Other than that, we'll climb up steer 7. We'll look at how much fuel we have, and we'll head back to the tanker pretty much. And That'll be it. It's pretty simple. It's really complex, but it's pretty simple. And if it comes down to surviving or dying, you jettison the bitches. I mean, yeah, if it comes down to thinking, oh, if I keep these on, I'll be able to complete the mission, but it gets you killed, what was the point of keeping them? Other than that, I'm guessing with Deed, somewhere between Steer 4 and 5, we'll be doing a 360 circle. Waiting for them. Yeah, it'll be a spin. It'll just be a standard 30-degree turn on altitude. What I'll probably have us do is set and hold mill power, and then just roll our wings over. As for formation, yeah, just stay where you're comfortable. Sometimes, if we get into a dogfight scenario, or we're about to engage, and I have you fingertip, and you're like, "What's this idiot doing?" Just kick out and be where you need to be. Yeah, I forget that shit all the time, and then people are like, "Why'd you have me so close?" And it's like, "Well, why didn't you tell me you were so close?" Like, yeah. Other than that, it'll be simply complicated. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Pretty much. That'll be it. Yeah. Then I'll keep us. I'll keep us pretty set. I don't even know what our altitude block is, but oh yeah, yeah, I will. And we'll probably try and fly whatever the jet tells us is optimal altitude. If it's something stupid like 12,000 feet, which I don't think we're that heavy, we'll climb up and we'll stay in the gas a little bit. So, oh wait, are there altitude blocks in the briefing? So really, the whole point is that prevents air-to-air collisions. If I know that all my other flight leads are where they're supposed to be, I have from 23,000 to 23,999 altitude that I can play with. Assuming everybody stays in there. It's just a separation thing. It's no different than ATC and the airliners splitting things up. Yeah, what's the old saying? Create the plan, execute the plan goes to shit, make a new plan, execute new plan. Are we gonna try and fly carrot?
No, not really. Well, I'll give the order to push at the Marshall Point, and then the TARCAP will go first, then the lead flights, and then us.
Which one is 3 the Marshall Point?
Say that again once everyone's back up here.
I forgot to put in the INI file, so I didn't know if it was there or not.
You should probably load it.
I think I have everything marked that I need. Is there anything? I have all our threats marked. I have tankers marked.
Well, I can just list all the things I have. The free SA2s, the free air bases, just so people know where they are, the Libyan coastline in a line, the tanker box, and some airfields at Crete. That's everything we have.
Oh,
you don't really need half this stuff anyway.
Yeah, but it's so nice to have them sometimes. Let's see. So we'll want that. I like that diversion airport.
So one last thing I forgot to mention is that the plan will be for all flights to Marshall at steer point 3, and I'll give the call out to push The tar cap will push first, then the 2 deed flights, then the 2 strike flights. After that, you're free to continue to your destination and kill things, but obviously you need to coordinate.
Okay, so
Any
you
final
do
question?
have blocks for us. Okay.
What?
No. Forget it.
Okay. Yes, there are blocks. Let's do like a 2-minute break and then I'll commit, I guess.
Good.
In case you need to do anything, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll be back also.
I'm gonna get much needed coffee with a wee nip of whiskey.